Welcome to Rauta. This is Norrhem, a Finnish black metal band with their fourth album, Aurinko ja teräs, meaning literally sun and steel. Those who are familiar with the band probably already know the style, kind of folky, very national romantic black metal with melodies and sometimes very important parts of melancholia present. It's not the happy tunes, not the darker style, not the most violent style of black metal out there, but in a way more sensitive style. And this is even more emphasized by the new album style, especially when there are a lot of clean vocal parts to kind of emphasize the more folkier stuff. But it's not really like that folky because there are no traditional instruments apart from, acoustic guitars. So that might be a little bit misleading. So maybe putting this more into the world of pagan metal, pagan black metal bands with the kind of tunes that are softer but not exactly outside the black metal territory. And now you must be thinking about bands like Moonsorrow and Falkenbach. So while not exactly folk black metal, definitely into the world of pagan black metal with the kind of natural themes and whatnot. As you can see, this one is a folding digipack, non-glossy digipack, mind you, from a Finnish label. And is indeed very, very nice to watch. I actually like this black, white, and gray design more than the previous ones, which had more colors and all. And here is finally with the lyrics and all the recording information, including guest musicians, as well as the three-piece lineup, which I actually today updated on Metal Archives. For some reason, it had the live musicians as part of the whole crew here, but technically speaking, a three-man band and live a little bit more than that. Now you've seen the packaging, let's start talking about the music. So Norrhem comes from the same city as me, and as such, gotten to know a couple of the main guys throughout the years. They have been active since 2017, so 8 years now, and that puts them in a very, very active box of creating music, because as you can see here, already the first album 2018, then another one 2020, 2022, and now 2025. So instead of 2 years, now 3 years gap, but there was this Norrhem Silvihollinen split release, or more like a collaboration between, as well as the Path of Elite and among the release EPs between these full albums. It's always been very active, which is curious because, for example, the main songwriter, also the vocalist, keyboard player in the band, is active in other bands, like including the Chamberlain, another Turku-based black metal band, and also Malum, which is also very active, not in terms of just gigs, but also album-wise. And then a couple of more people in the band which are also active in the bands, other bands. So all in all, a trio which is having a lot of things going on pretty much all the time, but doesn't stop people like V or Valthor, like he's named in the album, being very, very active in the songwriting side. And now the big question is how you can keep up with the quality when you're doing music so much all the time. Now some people just have the knack for it. They're able to do good music one after another, despite having multiple bands and multiple releases. So how does Aurinko and teräs then again got, pale in comparison to the previous ones, or does it? Now, in my opinion, it's a little bit softer than the previous albums. Maybe not much, but slightly. But that doesn't mean like the quality has shaken. Rather, these 41 minutes of an album, including 8 tracks and including a couple of short ones, just 2 minutes, is indeed quite a powerful release. Where it is going is interesting because there are parts where it gets really aggressive, like fast tempo, striking melodies, and certain level of Finnish melancholia, hand in hand with the certain level of violence and danger, which is obviously good when you're talking about black metal here after all. Then again, there are also really, really softer parts which are like beyond the scope of, these typical atmospheric black metal bands. I'll take a good example, maybe because it's so outstanding, the track number 5, Mulla Marttyyri, because it's an acoustic track with clean vocals and all. So taken out of the context, it wouldn't really, sound like a black metal at all. But then again, if you think about albums like Ulver's Berg back in the days, yeah, not that difference really. While as whole I wouldn't really compare to this Ulver debut, there are similarities in terms of like how you combine the certain natural parts. I'm talking about the inspiration coming from nature and all, to a little bit folkier tunes, well, without the folky instruments like mentioned, and then again including a lot of traditional black metal parts. But from the softer side, much like Birthday, or that matter, Moonsorrow. Certain parts, maybe because of rather excessive use of keyboards without going symphonic, but more creating the atmosphere, comes to my mind was Falkenbach. But that might be because I was just recently listening to the Falkenbach, and sometimes your subconscious works different ways. And there was some band member talking to me at the bar, and I hope you don't start comparing this to and that band. I'm like, don't give me any ideas, because that's exactly how subconscious works. So if you would now name drop a band, and I was like, wasn't thinking about that band until you mention it, that's where you get the ideas. Luckily, I don't even remember what the band was. I kind of tried to erase it from my mind so I don't get the outsider ideas. But like I said, subconscious works in different ways. Now, people who are looking for similarities now will notice certain folkier or black folk names such as Nocturnal Mortum and Moonsorrow, in a way also Goatmoon. Now, I wouldn't maybe go as far. Natfog is probably closest, Sielunvihollinen definitely in a way, but then again, bands like Satanic Warmaster, Horna, not really. These are more traditional and raw in a way. Neidva, Ymir probably goes closer to that. But as you can see, I have voted here bands like Nocturnal Mortem and Moonsorrow because definitely, reminding of them. Maybe I just should tick these boxes here as well and do the voting, because after all, that's what I feel they are closer. But Horna, Satanic Warmaster, no. Why these are important? Well, they are not. But in case you want to give pointers when you're comparing bands, well, sometimes these tools are useful. But back to the album itself. Yes, it's a strong addition to the whole Norrhem career so far, with fourth album out. And while obviously I wasn't expecting anything else but quality, it still kind of surprises me because it's a little bit different, yet still maintaining the very core. And when it so many times comes up to in my reviews that where are the hit songs? And people are like, you don't need hit songs in black metal, death metal, whatever. And I'm like, I disagree, because memorable tracks are fucking memorable tracks. And luckily, for example, this album has a couple of them. I could talk about Aurinko and Teräs, the title track, which is very, very catchy, one of the best songs ever made, and also Mullan Martyrit, which is then again the non-metallic, non-black metallic song in a way. But point here is, when you do memorable tracks, that goes a long way, and in my opinion, that's definitely worth doing, worth including, in case you want to make something worth memorizing for the coming years and all. So, Aurinko and Teräs, good album, solid album, one of the best so far this year, maybe the best album for me this year so far. So I'm really happy that I got the copy from the band for review, and I think you should totally give it a listen. If certain topics put you off because I don't want to be touching nationalism and whatever, then don't. Just opt out, go for something else, and don't make trouble out of it. I don't find this band problematic, but that's just me because I listen to the music, not the rants that a lot of people go for political scope and all. I find it more national romantic by very nature, and as such, I don't find it problematic. But what do I know? I don't know nothing. And you decide for yourself what you're listening to. You will find links provided in the description box so you can start listening. And I hope you like it. That's pretty much of it. If you have questions and all, let me know. Bye-bye.